peoples. Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, and Teofimo Lopez will all be fighting on the same card in Times Square, NYC. Very interesting. Let's talk about it, my peoples. We definitely got to talk about that. And of course, we'll touch on the situation with Tank Davis and Lamont Roach, how that has been developing. Interesting updates, to say the least. We want to see where that's headed. Very, very interesting updates, which we got to talk about. We got to discuss it and see what that's about. I'm very interested in seeing that card in Times Square, NYC. There's never been boxing on there. This is going to be the first time we see it. And I think it's going to be a beautiful thing to watch. I can't even imagine, the ring being set up in NYC. They're going to be surrounded by skyscrapers. It's going to be a whole new beast to watch a fight like that. And of course, we will be talking about the developments with Tank Davis. And, the situation with Tank Davis and Lamont Roach is still developing. There's new information coming up. Ooh, here we go. The Mexican G. I think Arnold Barboza might whoop Teofimo Lopez. To be honest, I've been telling people that if any of them three get upset, it's Teofimo. Just because I think that he's going to be the guy facing the toughest opponent out of the three, to be honest. I know Rolly has that power, but I don't believe that he's sharp enough to beat Ryan. Because if you're not going to knock Ryan Garcia out, you got to beat him by points. And I don't see Rolly being able to do that. And Devin Haney, I think he has, even though, he's not fighting a bum, but I think Devin Haney is going to have the easiest route for a victory. But when you talk about Teofimo versus Barboza, and Barboza has been looking really good lately, he's going to have a tough challenge ahead of him, He's going to have a tough challenge. Rolly has that retard strength. Rolly can punch, man. He can hit. I think after Rolly took a couple of losses, people already kind of been discrediting him. But he got nasty power. He can hurt you. He can really hurt you, and he can change the outcome of a fight. My peoples, appreciate y'all jumping in. We're gonna be addressing some updates with the Tank Davis, Lamont Roach. I don't know if you guys already heard about it, but the commission is actually reviewing the whole knee situation. That shit is under review right now because they're saying there wasn't enough time to do a replay, and so they relied on the referee's decision. But they're seeing the backlash from that knee and nothing happening, and it looks like it's under review. I don't know if y'all seen a post from Lamont Roach where he's suggesting that, hey, your favorite fighter might be 30-1 after this. So obviously Lamont Roach knows that this fight, this outcome is under review as of right now, and let's see how that's going to play out. Jose Ramirez is a respectable fighter, but his best days are behind him. I agree with you. 100%. That he's a good fighter. It's just that, his, like you said, my brother, his best days are behind him. And when you're a fighter who's at the tail end of your career and you're facing a young elite level guy, it's an uphill battle, my brother. It's really an uphill battle. And we know, even though Devin Haney, his whole situation with Ryan, he got beat up pretty bad. But we know that Devin Haney is a guy who can fight. It's a guy who got the skills that pay the bills. I would never disrespect Devin Haney and say, oh, he can't fight, he's overrated. I don't play those games, you know what I'm saying? Devin Haney is one of the young, elite level fighters. I agree with you, the Mexican G. If Devin Haney and Jose Ramirez would have fought 5-6 years ago, Ramirez would have had a good shot. But today in 2025, that's a tough fight for Ramirez. And he's been in some wars. He lost to Barboza, he lost to Josh Taylor. And I think that he could give Devin Haney a competitive fight. I just don't think that Jose Ramirez can beat Devin Haney. Out of Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, and Ryan Garcia, I think Teofimo has the toughest challenge with Barboza. Now, I will say, Ryan Garcia and Rollies, there's bad blood between those two. Obviously, they have history with that sparring match that went viral. And I think the Devin Haney, my bad. I think the Ryan Garcia Rollies sparring session have gone viral multiple times. Like, it kind of dies out, everybody forgets about it, and then it comes up again. And with the history that they have, I believe this thing is going to turn into a fight. It's going to turn into a fight. They're going to have their game plan and everything, but at some point, I think, they're just going to start trading nasty leather. JT the Goon is asking, Eubank or Ben? Eubanks Jr. or Ben? I'm going to tell you like this, my brother. I know that Conor Ben is the smaller guy, but just the energy that he's bringing into this fight, the bad blood that's going on between them, there's been bad blood since their father fought each other. And I don't know why, man, but I think Conor Ben is going to come with some type of energy, and he's going to knock Chris Eubanks out cold. I haven't made my official prediction as of yet, but I don't know, man. Conor Ben just got that energy about him. And Chris Eubank is joking around a lot. Like, I see him real calm about it. I know he's going to be the favorite. He's the guy that's supposed to win. He's the naturally bigger guy. And if you see them, when they face each other off, he's a lot bigger physically than Conor Ben. But, bro, that energy Conor Ben is bringing is just giving me a vibe. Like he's going to shock everybody and knock Chris Eubanks out cold. We shall see. The Mexican G says Ramirez will have a few good moments. He might rock Haney, but overall I think Haney will outbox Jose Ramirez. And I agree with you right now. We already know that Devin Haney, his chin is kind of suspect. He's been tested a few times. And, he's coming off of a tough war with Ryan Garcia. And I'm going to tell you something, my brother. When a fighter has a suspect chin, and they get hurt really bad, that chin get even more suspect. And it gets easier to hurt him. Ryan Garcia, he hurt him really bad in that last fight. He had him dancing salsa. He had him with the stanky leg, dropping him. It's tough to overcome that. You could overcome it mentally, but your legs, your chin, how is it going to react if you get caught with a good shot? We have to see it. We have to see it, my brother. And JT Goon, I'm telling you, man, when it comes to Conor Ben and Chris Eubank, I just see the way that Chris is behaving. Like his demeanor. He's trying to act calm, joking around, and Conor Ben just got that mean energy about him. So I just feel like he's coming with something, with a chip on his shoulder, wanting to knock him out. Aiming for the knockout. Aiming to hurt him. Conor Ben wants to hurt Chris Eubank badly. And, that's a dangerous fighter right there, man. And we already know Conor Ben is an aggressive fighter. He a power puncher. The only question mark that I have moving up in weight, is it gonna affect Conor Ben? Is he still gonna bring that power? Is he gonna bring that power with him? Yo, that egg incident. First of all, I'm gonna tell you like this, my peoples. The situation with the egg, I felt like Chris Eubank is a goofball for that. I didn't like that at all. You know, I'm with the trash talk and I love it. I'm with the actions to sell the fight. But you hiding an egg in your jacket and slapping your opponent with that, it might look entertaining, but that's not cool. I didn't really like that. In fact, once I saw him do that thing with the egg, I was like, man, listen, he needs to get knocked out. Now I'm rocking with Conor Ben. I want Conor Ben to knock him out. You know, at the end of the day, man, we fighters, they need to respect each other. Yeah, trash talking, that's part of the game, Telling each other, I'm going to beat your ass, I'm going to knock you out, all that stuff. Even pushing each other, that's part of the game. But bringing eggs up there to the stage and hiding it and waiting for the right moment to slap them with it, I wasn't with. That was a sneaky, I would call that a sneaky bitch move. That's what I believe that. And, yo, you made him mad. You made him real mad. This guy who's... And I'm going to tell you guys why I rock with Conor Ben the way that I do. If you think about it, yo, his father made a lot of money in boxing. So, you know that a lot of fighters, they get into boxing and they stay with it because boxing is what's going to get them out of the hood. Boxing is what's going to change your life around. So that becomes some motivation, right? But when you get to a point like Conor Ben, where you box because you want to box, not because you want to get out of your situation, not because you're trying to, get a house for your father and your mother. No. Conor Ben is a fighter because he chose to be a fighter. Yo, he could have been a doctor. He could have been a lawyer. He could have been a computer scientist. Conor Ben could have did anything he wanted. His pops made good money in boxing. He could have went to a nice private school and got an education and been a lot of different things. He chose to fight. He loves to fight. And a guy like that could be dangerous. I know there's fighters, most dangerous fighters come from the bottom of the bottom. But don't dismiss a guy that doesn't come from the bottom, that's there because he want to be there. That's Conor Ben. He a fighter because he want to be a fighter. A guy like that is dangerous, my people. So I'm trying to tell you. I wanted to give y'all an update about Tank Davis and Lamont Roach while we're at it. Real quick. I don't know if y'all seen this, but Lamont Roach posted, your favorite fighter might be 30-1 after soon or something like that. Why did he post that? Because the commission is actually investigating the knee. Let's call it knee gate. The knee to the canvas with the no countdown, with the no point deduction, is now being investigated. Think about that. When an investigation takes place, the decision could actually be overturned. Imagine that. They could overturn that decision and give Lamont Roach a W. Now remember, Devin Haney's loss versus Ryan Garcia was overturned, which is why right now Devin Haney has an undefeated record. It was overturned. So right now, Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach, the results is under review. Why did they choose to review it? I believe it's because there's been a big backlash. Everybody's talking about the knee. Everybody's talking about how nothing was done about it. It's like Tank took that fight as a sparring session where he could do whatever he wanted. And all of the backlash, all of the people talking about it, well, guess what? It's now under review officially. And what they're saying is that they opted to review it because at the time they was not able to look at a replay. And they relied on the referee's decision, which was to let it slide. Well, it's what I've been saying. I said this in my last live. I said this in a video that I posted. There are rules in boxing. And those rules were not followed when Tank Davis took a knee. Let's be real, my peoples. Let's keep it 100. The rules were not followed when Tank Davis took a knee. So imagine that. Imagine, yo, if they overturned the decision, give Tank Davis a L, give Lamar Roach the W, and the 135 title. Automatically, Lamar Roach is going to become the first guy to beat Tank Davis if this decision is overturned. That would be crazy. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. We can't get ahead of ourselves. We don't know if that's going to happen. However, what I will tell you is that boxing has rules. And those rules, look, let me show you. Look what Lamar Roach said. It's right there. Look, I found it. I'm going to read it for y'all, my peoples. Word around the block, your favorite fighter is going to be 30-1. Not 30-0-1. 2 times 2 division champion. Gotta think about that, man. Yo, if that thing gets overturned, Roach done beat the quote-unquote face of boxing. You gotta think about it, man. Roach, his stock is already way up. His stock is way up already for this fight. But if the decision is overturned and he gets the W, yo, Roach is going to become a superstar. He's going to become a huge star. Millions of dollars, endorsements. Now you can pick whoever you want because everybody's going to want to fight you. Roach is about to become that dude if they overturn that. Now, I don't know why did he say that? Where did that come from? That he's saying, yo, word on the block, your favorite fighter finna be 30-1. I don't know where Lamar Roach got that, my brother. I just know that as of right now, that fight seems to be under review. Seems to be under review. And last time we saw a fight under review, of this scale, it was Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. And the results were overturned. Ryan Garcia got the W. So now we got Lamar Roach, Tank Davis, a controversial decision, a controversial draw, and now we're finding out that the knee is under review. So for those of you who just joined the live right now, Tank Davis versus Lamar Roach, the knee is under review. And I already shared the rules with everybody. If you look at the rules, a fighter that puts a knee down voluntarily to pause the action, that's an automatic point deduction or a standing 8 count. In this case, with Tank Davis and Lamar Roach, there was no point deduction. There was no standing 8 count. So the commission is actually reviewing it. So like I said, my peoples, just remember the last review that we saw, between big stars like this was Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. Before that review started, Ryan Garcia had a win, Devin Haney had a loss. And after the review, that decision was overturned and Devin Haney went back to being undefeated. So it was overturned. The review found enough information for them to decide, you know what? We got it wrong. Ryan Garcia did this and that. We're overturning it. Devin Haney still undefeated. Well, Tank Davis and Lamar Roach, what is going to happen after they review it? We already know, think about it, my peoples. We already know that Tank Davis took a knee. We already know that there was no point deduction. And we already know that the outcome of the fight was a draw. That point deduction would have made Lamar Roach the winner of that fight. What now? What now? If Lamar Roach would have been the winner of that fight and they're reviewing the knee, which there was no point deduction, what's going to happen? What is going to happen? There's going to be some interesting development, my peoples. Now, I want to show you something real quick. When that fight finished, I did a video as to what I would like to do with the judges. I'm going to show you guys that video so you can see how I felt about those judges scoring the fight a draw. Remember, 2 judges scored it a draw and 1 judge scored it for Tank Davis. That means that none of the 3 judges gave it to Roach. None of them. So I want to show you what I felt right after that fight. Check this out, my peoples. Oh, I don't got no audio. I'm gonna have to show it to you guys later. My speakers in this other device is playing games with me. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it. Let me know if you can actually hear that. Can you hear that, my peoples? Let me know if you can hear that. Damn. I'll show it to you on the next live. I'm gonna grab another phone and play it for y'all. But in my opinion, all 3 of those judges should be fired. And what I'm saying in that video is that I will call a meeting with all 3 judges and ask them, like, bro, why did you 2 score the fight a draw? And why did you score the fight for Tank Davis? And as soon as one of them judges started to talk, I would have been like, shut the fuck up. All 3 of you are fired. You fired. Get the hell out of my office. Security, kick these bumps out of here. That's how I would handle all 3 of those judges. Because they screwed boxing. They screwed all of us. They screwed all of us, my peoples. That's my honest opinion on that. Those judges don't deserve to be judges. I don't know if they got paid under the table. Because I've been telling people, bro. If you watch the end of the fight, after that final bell, yo, they took mad long to give the decision. They took mad long to give that decision. And I said it during my live. I was like, yo, why they taking so long to say the decision? What's going on? And you know what I believe? They cooked them scorecards. They cooked the motherfucking scorecards right then and there. John Perrin, what's the deal, my brother? Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yo, I'm going to be jumping back in. You know what I'm saying? Definitely a fire podcast. And I always enjoy content if it's people who know what they're talking about, who understand the sport of boxing. I'm going to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to enjoy, the interaction. A lot of the people who are on there, you could tell that they know what they're talking about. Oh, definitely, my brother. We were giving some updates about the situation with Tank Davis and Lamar Roach simply because Lamar Roach posted, your favorite fighter, word around the block is that your favorite fighter is going to be 30-1. And the commission is investigating the knee. Because as you know, we all know, Tank Davis took a knee and there was no point deductions. So, automatically, I guess that triggered an investigation and they're looking into it. So I'm just reminding everybody, Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia fought and that decision was overturned. Ryan Garcia won, put the Swiss beats on Devin, and then they found something that made them overturn the decision. So now, look what's happening. Look what's going on. There's an investigation because of that knee that Tank Davis took. So, you're saying still would be a draw, but I want you to think about this. The fight ended as a draw without a point deduction. If they're investigating the knee, and in that investigation they determine that a point should be deducted, they can overturn the decision and give Tank Davis the first loss of his career. That can actually happen, my brother. I'm not telling you that is going to happen, but there is a possibility that it happens, because you have to remember, if there's a draw and there's a point deduction that the referee missed, by mistake or not, it doesn't matter. He missed it. The rules of boxing, I already looked for the rules of boxing and shared it on my page. The rules of boxing stipulate that if a boxer takes a knee to pause the action, that is an automatic point deduction. Bro, 2 judges had Tank up more than 1 point. Oh, come on, Jungle Boogie. What is you talking about? 2 judges scored it a draw, and 1 gave it to Tank. What are you not understanding? The fight was a draw because 2 judges gave it a draw. You wildin' out. If 2 judges would have gave it to Tank, then he would have won the fight. Come on now. That's simple mathematics. It's only 3 judges. How are you going to say 2 judges had Tank up more than 1? If 2 judges had Tank up, he would have won the fight, my guy. What are we talking about? It's only 3 judges. Come on, let's do the mathematics here. 2 judges had a draw, and 1 had it for Tank Davis. Guess what? If you give that round 10-8 to Lamar Roach, it's murder she wrote. It's over. The 2 judges that score a draw is now in favor of Lamar Roach. He won the fight. He won the fight. So, I can't even believe that you're saying 2 judges had Tank Davis up. It's only 3 judges, my guy. What are you talking about? Come on, man. I need you to take that back where you said that 2 judges had Tank Davis up more than 1 point. He would have won the damn fight, my guy. At least give me that. At least be like, damn, Jay, you're right. You're right about that. Come on now. Don't try to skip away from what you just said. You said that 2 judges had Tank Davis up. That is clearly not true. He would have won the fight. Tank Davis would have won if 2 judges had him up. There you go, my brother. You're going to be out because I was right? One love, my guy. I'm just being honest. But again, my peoples, 2 judges had to fight a draw, and 1 judge had it for Tank Davis. So if they're reviewing the knee right now, it's under review. That's the reason why Lamar Roach posted. Word on the block is that your favorite fighter is about to be 30-1. I feel you, Jungle Boogie. I feel you, my brother. I got to get up mad early to go to work, too. Have a good night, my brother, and I appreciate you dropping in. So, why did Lamar Roach post that? Why did Lamar Roach say, hey, word on the block is that your favorite fighter is going to be 30-1? We're going to find out. But it's already confirmed that the whole knee situation is under investigation right now as we speak. Therefore, this is how I put it together, my people, right? The fight ended up as a draw. We already know there was never a point deduction for the knee. We already know if Tank would have took a point deduction, the two judges that gave it a draw would have gave it to Lamar Roach. And therefore, he would have won the fight on the scorecards. He would at least have two judges in his favor. So we have to wonder, how is this investigation going to play out? Because you may recall, Devin Haney lost to Ryan Garcia. And that decision was overturned after an investigation. Devin Haney's now undefeated. So we already seen that an investigation could lead to a decision being overturned. If this decision is overturned, Lamar Roach is going to be the first guy to beat Tank Davis. He'll be a 2-division champion and now a reigning champion in the 135 division. Yo, if they overturn that decision, Lamar Roach is going to become a superstar from one day to the next. Decision won't change only if it's because of drug cheats. I don't know why you're saying that, my brother. I don't know how you came up with that conclusion. If a decision cannot be changed, why would they be reviewing it? Why would they? Look, let me put it to you like this, my brother, so you can see. What the commission said is that they did not have enough time for a replay, so they relied on the referee's decision-making process. But they're reviewing that decision from the referee, my brother. If they're reviewing that decision, it can be overturned. And trust me, when you say that it can only be overturned because of drug cheats, that's not true. That's not true, my brother. If they could not overturn this decision, they would not be reviewing it in the first place. They wouldn't be reviewing it. They're reviewing it because there's a rule in boxing that was not followed. We're going to find out. You see, you've never seen it, but how many times have we seen a ref not follow a rule? Because one thing is for something to happen and the ref not to see it. That's different. Or one thing is for the ref to rule it a slip when it was a knockdown. But we know that Tank Davis purposely took a knee, paused the action, turned his back on his opponent and the referee, and went to his corner. We saw it develop in front of our eyes. We got to find out now how they're going to decide to take action. Also never seen someone take a knee and no count. Facts. We never seen that. A lot of people try to say that Lamar Roach took a knee. That was cap. He never took a knee. He was actually shoved down. Tank Davis put his weight on him, shoved him down, and he went down to a knee and got right back up. People took a screenshot of the moment he was down and said that he also took a knee. He never took a knee. He got pushed. We've seen it millions of times where fighters clinch and the guy who's down low gets pushed by the guy who's up top and he ends up in his knees. That's not taking a knee. So a rule was not followed. There's a rule in boxing that stipulates if you take a knee, that's an automatic count. That's an automatic point deduction. That never happened. So if the commission is reviewing it, that makes me feel like they can say, yep, we're going to overturn it. Because you also got to remember, think about this, my brother. Think about this, Ozzy. If Tank Davis wins this fight, unanimous decision, by a wide margin, there's no reason to review the knee. Because even if you review it, he won anyway. That 1 point wasn't going to change anything. But in a fight that ends in a draw, where that knee can change the outcome, and they decide to review it, I believe that they can change the outcome. I truly. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not a psychic. I can't predict it. But I say, hey, if Lamar Roach is saying, yo, your favorite word on the block is that your favorite fighter is about to be 30-1. There's a reason why he's saying that. He got that information from somewhere. Maybe his team feel confident and they're saying, yo, when they review it, we're going to get that W. But that knee to the ground from Tank Davis is under review right now as we speak. Will they favor Tank Davis because he's the bigger star? I don't know, my brother, because once you're reviewing something, how can you justify it? If there's a rule in boxing that says if you take a knee, hey, unfortunately, that's a point deduction automatically. How are they going to be able to justify it? It's on tape. Tank is on video taking a knee and walking away from his opponent. So I know that boxing is corrupt. That's facts, my brother. But we have to see how it all plays out. We have to see it. Miss Bitch, holy bitch queen. Salute to you too, my queen. And I appreciate you dropping in. And I really want to hear your opinion about this whole Tank Davis and Lamar Roach saga. About Kneegate. I want to hear it. I want to hear what you got. We got a queen in the building, my peoples. I'm interested in hearing what she got. And again, my peoples, I'm not a psychic. I can't, predict the future. All I'm saying is, number one, Lamar Roach posted, word on the street is that your favorite fighter is about to be 30-1 and I'm going to be a 2-division champion. There's a reason why he posted that. I don't think he made it up out of thin air. And now I see a post that says, think about that. That knee is under review simply because at the time that it happened, they were not able to replay it. They didn't have enough time to do a instant replay. So they relied on the ref's decision. Well, they're reviewing that knee. So I'm just reminding everybody. I want everybody to keep that in mind. Ryan Garcia beat the brains out of Devin Haney. But they reviewed the decision. They reviewed that Ryan Garcia was supposedly on PEDs. And they overturned the decision. And now Devin Haney's undefeated. So a decision can be overturned if they decide that the right decision wasn't made. So if the fight ended up in a draw and there's a point deduction that never took place, as per the rules it should have, and that's under review. What do you think, my peoples? If they overturn that decision, Lamar Roach will have handed Tank Davis his first loss. Lamar Roach will now be a 2-division champion. And Lamar Roach is about to be one of the biggest stars in boxing. If they change it, this is going to be insane. The whole boxing world is going to be talking about it. Lamar Roach is going to have endorsements flying his way that he won't even know what to do with them. Fight offers coming his way that he won't even know what to do with them. Lamar Roach is about to become a huge star if they overturn that. And Miss Bitch, holy bitch queen, I agree with you 100%. Lamar Roach earned that victory. The guy had the perfect game plan and executed. And you know what I'm trying to explain to everybody that they're on denial about? Just Tank Davis, like real hardcore fans. Because you may have noticed, even a lot of Tank Davis fans are like, yo, Tank Davis lost. But what I've been trying to tell a lot of people is the following. The first 4 rounds, Lamar Roach won those easily. Tank Davis was just backtracking, lateral movement, and rarely counterpunching. So if you watch the fight and you see Lamar Roach winning those first 4 rounds, do you really believe that Tank Davis won 6 out of the last 8 rounds? Does anybody believe that Tank Davis won 6 out of the last 8 rounds? Because if you win 6 out of the last 8 rounds, it pretty much means that you dominated the second half of the fight. You dominated. Did Tank Davis dominate the second half of the fight? Yo, Ozzy, you right, my brother. Lamar Roach, yo, his stock is through the roof right now. But if they overturn that decision and now Lamar Roach become the winner and the 2-division champion, the first guy to beat Tank Davis, man, his stock is going through the atmosphere, through the stratosphere. It's going to leave the damn Milky Way. I'm just saying. We need to see what's going to happen with this investigation. Because you may recall, Ryan Garcia was celebrating his win versus Devin Haney. And before you know it, he didn't have that win anymore. And Devin Haney was back to being undefeated. Devin Haney's undefeated. We look at his record. He never took a loss. So, a decision in boxing can be overturned. And we already know for a fact that taking a knee is a point deduction that never happened. Remember, that's specifically was under review. They're not reviewing the whole fight. They're not reviewing the whole scorecards. They're specifically reviewing the knee. Was the right decision taken? No. It wasn't. We already know that the referee just let it slide. It's almost like Tank Davis took a timeout in the middle of a championship fight. Timeout. I got to take a knee. I got to walk to my corner. I got to wipe my face. Okay, I'm ready to fight now. By the way, my peoples, I appreciate everyone who hit that like button. I see a few people subscribe to the channel. Yo, anybody who subscribed, yo, I appreciate you, my peoples. You know, I do this for the love of boxing. I love the sweet science. I call it how I see it. If you go in there, see some of my videos that I already posted, you're going to see that I don't cap. I don't do it for the views. I don't do it for the likes. I don't do clickbait. I just call it how I see it, and I hope y'all rock with me. I don't expect everybody to agree with me. I respect everybody. If you disagree with me, I respect it. For the people who say Tank Davis won that fight, even though it sounds crazy to me, I respect it. I could ask you why you think he won it, but I respect it, my people. I show respect to everybody. And when somebody comes in my live and they try to disrespect me, they try to say crazy shit, I just ignore it. I don't try to start, we're going to start disrespecting each other. I don't do all that, my peoples. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to talk about the sport that I love. And yo, if you're going into a live about boxing, I know y'all love the sport of boxing too. You know, we don't all have to have the same opinion. We just have to, you know, talk about it. And my thing is, if we have a different opinion about a fight or about the outcome of a fight, let's talk about it. Let's debate. Let's ask questions. And then let's see where we're going with it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm about. Showing respect to everybody that jump in my live. I show respect to the fighters too. I don't like disrespecting the fighters. I just say who I think won, who I think lost. Yo, my brother, whoever just gave me that like and somebody else just subscribed, salute, and I appreciate you. When I started this live, I'm gonna tell you something, my people. I started this live talking about Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, and Ryan Garcia. All three of them are going to be fighting in Times Square. That's crazy. I'm super excited about that. There's never been a card. There's never been boxing in Times Square. And you could imagine these guys surrounded by skyscrapers. I don't know how they're going to set up the ring or the seating arrangement. But I'm so looking forward to those three guys fighting on the same card and in Times Square. That's gonna be awesome. I actually started this live talking about those three, and the Tank Davis Lamar Roach situation, man, we can't get away from it. There's always gonna be somebody jumping in and want to talk about it because that was just this weekend. So we want to know how that's developing. Oh shit, Unlaced. Yo, salute my brother. From True Media. Yo, I actually was on that live from True Media earlier today. And yo, anybody who's up in here, yo, you need to check out True Media. Subscribe to that channel. It's fire. You know, I always appreciate boxing content where the people talking about it know what they talking about. So True Media, Coach Malachi, salute. That's a channel that I'm going to be following up on. Y'all got my support 100%, my brother. I can see the future. Shit, we all think we could see the future. And you know what's funny? There's people saying, I want you to think about this. There's people saying that Tank Davis, that I was hoping Tank Davis lose, and that I'm a Tank hater fan. All you got to do is see my videos, my people. I predicted Tank Davis was going to knock him out. I predicted that Tank Davis was going to knock Lamar Roach out by the 8th round or before that. And I don't be capping, my people. If I make a wrong prediction, I leave that video up. And I own that. I'll let you know my prediction was wrong. I don't have a problem. So if I predicted Tank was going to win by knockout, do you really believe that I'm hoping my prediction goes wrong? Come on now. Nobody wants to have a bad prediction. Most of my predictions be right. But when I get it wrong, I let the people know, yo, I was wrong. So Mark Cole, you're saying Tank wasn't at that fight? I mean, that's hard to say. You know why that's hard to say? Because every time a great fighter get beat, or they don't look as good as they usually do, they never look the same. You know, people always say, oh, he didn't. Like, think about this. When Errol Spence got beat up by Terrence Crawford, right away people said, nah, he didn't look the same. He wasn't the same. But look at any fighter who's unbeaten and then they face a real tough fight or they get beat up. They never look the same because we're not used to seeing them get beat up. We're not used to seeing nobody stand toe-to-toe with Tank Davis for 12 rounds and live to talk about it. So it's going to look different. But at the end of the day, when you say, well, Tank Davis wasn't the same or wasn't all there, we're taking credit away from Lamar Roach, from what he accomplished. So was Tank Davis not there? Or was Lamar Roach simply that good? That's what I believe. So John B says, I can only see my future and I'll die in a car crash at 32. Stop playing, my brother. Don't say that. Don't say that. I pray for you right now that God protect you and that you don't die at 32, that you make it to an old man, you get to see your grandkids and all that good stuff. Amen. You ain't going nowhere, my brother. Forget about that. So, Holy Bitch Queen says, I don't think Tank has ever rematched a fighter. He hasn't. He hasn't rematched a fighter, ever. And wow, Queen Bitch, I hadn't even thought about that. Good call out. And you know why? That's a great call out, actually. Because as soon as this fight finished, the first thing Tank Davis said, I want a rematch. Who wins a fight and says right away, I want a rematch? So you see what you're saying, Terrell? Tank messed up because he didn't respect Roach. That's why he stayed in the pocket. But it backfired. Tank rematch, he will fight more on the outside. I want to say this, my peoples. Look at Tank Davis' last fight versus Frank the Ghost Martin. He lost the first 3 rounds on all 3 judges' scorecards. The reason I bring that up, anybody who knows Tank Davis and has been following him, we all know he's a slow starter and he tends to lose a lot of rounds in the beginning of fights. Unlaced says, let me see what you said, Unlaced. Hopefully, I think a little of both. Tank had an off day and Roach was on his best we have ever seen him. That's fair. That's a fair assessment. But I want to say this. Tank Davis is notoriously a slow starter, right? He gets behind on the cards or he loses early rounds. But that really doesn't matter because all along he's planning to knock you out. So if he knocks you out, it doesn't matter if he was behind on the cards. It doesn't matter if he lost a few early rounds. This thing is now going the distance. He's going to knock you out. But what happened with Lamar Roach? If you watch the fight, my peoples, I'm asking you, watch it a second time for me. So you could join me in my live tomorrow and we could talk about it again. Tank Davis, in the first 6 rounds, he was barely fighting. He did more trash talking and more laughing than he did punching. He was literally counter punching every once in a while. Sometimes a whole minute would pass where he didn't throw a single punch. He just moving. And Roach is coming forward, catching him with a jab, catching him with a little punch here and there. While Tank is just moving around. Moving and moving. He did that for 6 rounds, my people. Where he barely... in the first 4 rounds, Tank Davis didn't throw 10 punches in any of those rounds. Why? Because he was planning on, I'm going to knock you out later on. 7th round comes, and that's the first time that you see Tank Davis get a little bit more aggressive. After the 7th, after the 8th, he starts getting a little bit more aggressive. But that knockout punch, it never came. And when they realized it's not coming, you could see the sense of urgency in the corner. That's why I'm asking you, watch the fight again, my people, so you can see Tank Davis' corner in the 9th round, in the 10th round. They tell him, you got to let your hands go. You see the desperation in them people's face. You could see it. And when the knockout didn't come, Tank Davis should have been behind on the cards, Lamar Roach is outworking him. Lamar Roach is the one pressing the action throughout the damn fight. We have to be honest, my people. And another thing that I want y'all to see, you may remember it. I'll refresh your recollection if you don't. Lamar Roach, when Tank Davis was making him miss and counter punching with the left that he usually knocked people out with, Lamar Roach was actually slipping that punch and countering it with a clean shot to Tank Davis' face. When the hell have we ever seen somebody counter Tank Davis' counter? They were countering his power counter punch. When have we ever seen that? When have we ever seen a fighter successfully counter Tank Davis counter punch? Because I think we all agree Tank Davis is one of the best counter punchers in the game. He dropped Ryan Garcia with a counter punch. Knocked out Leo Santa Cruz with a counter punch. Slept Rolly with a counter punch. Man knockouts off of his counter punch. And you got Lamar Roach counter punching that counter punch. Not only that, Lamar Roach did not fight to a draw by running. He didn't run around on Tank Davis. He didn't get chased around by Tank. Actually, Lamar Roach was doing most of the chasing. He was the one chasing Tank Davis around. And you see on Lace how you said Roach was very composed, high guard, and traded with the counter punches. I said it throughout the live, with Tank Davis, hands down, man down. Lamar Roach kept them hands up. Kept them hands up for 12 rounds. He was not going to get caught slipping. That's why almost every time Tank Davis tried to counter with that big left, it either got blocked or partially blocked. His hardest punch, it never landed flush. It never landed flush, my people. The punch that he's knocked out a bunch of people with, it never landed flush. That punch that you don't see coming, boom! He wasn't able to land it on Roach. Tyrell, let me see what you got for me, Tyrell. Tyrell says skills is always important, but you don't need that much skills when you have heart. When seen it many times in history. There's a lot of times where the guy with the heart beat the guy with the skills too. You know what example I could give you right now? Maidana. Maidana beat Broner. Nobody believes that Maidana has more skills than Adrian Broner. He's not sharper. He don't got better footwork. He's not a better combination puncher. He don't got nothing skills-wise for Broner. But he got them big-ass balls. And he a brawler. He a fighter. And he's not going to stop coming forward. He's not going to stop